Hello, and welcome to Building the First Human Firewall cohort. My name is Michaela Sorrentino. I am the founder of Self Mastery Academy and the creator of iHealMe, a human led emotional self regulation framework designed for the age of artificial intelligence. This video is specifically for the TechSaga team and the first iHealMe research cohort. You are not simply being invited to test an app. You are being invited to help shape an early human side AI safety model. That may sound large, but the starting point is very simple. Before we can build safer AI systems, we need to understand the human being using them. AI does not operate in isolation. AI is used by people, people under pressure, people with deadlines, people managing communication, people solving problems, people working inside teams, people dealing with stress, uncertainty, cognitive load, emotional activation, and fast changing technology. In other words, people like us. That is where iHealMe begins. The core question is practical. If people learn to track their emotional state and regulate themselves more effectively, do they become clearer, calmer, more resilient, and more responsible when using AI and other powerful technologies? That is the research question, and TechSaga is in a unique position to help explore it. You are a technology team. You understand systems. You understand software. You understand that what happens inside a system affects what comes out of it. The same is true for the human being. The human is also made up of systems. There's a biological system, a cognitive system, an emotional system, and a nervous system driven by a decision making system. Remarkably, most people have never been taught how their own emotional operating system works. They know how to use devices with stealth precision. They know how to use apps better because of it. They know how to manage projects and respond to information, but they often do not know how to recognize emotional activation before it takes over their thinking. The majority of people I meet in everyday and sometimes boring life circumstances do not always recognize when the wrong kind of stress is shaping their decisions. They do not always know when frustration, pressure, fear, overwhelm, or fatigue are influencing how they communicate. This matters, especially in technology, because technology work requires clarity, focus, patience, problem solving, communication, iteration, and the ability to pause before reacting. That is exactly what emotional self regulation supports. iHealMe is designed to make that process simple. It is not therapy. It is not diagnosis. It is not a medical tool. It is not a meditation app. It is a self observation and self regulation tool. The process is simple. You notice that you are activated. You open the app. You log your emotional intensity. You complete one short somatic reset, less than 60 seconds. Then you re rate your emotional state. You observe what changed. That is it. Simple by design. Because when a person is triggered, too much choice is not helpful. Too much choice can become another layer of cognitive load. So, in phase one of the app, the reset is deliberately simple. One short somatic exercise, fast, accessible, practical. The purpose is quick realignment. A somatic reset helps interrupt stress, tension, or internal blocks that may be interfering with the nervous system in that moment. Because when the nervous system is activated, that activation does not stay in one place. It can affect communication, it can affect focus, it can affect decision making, it can affect health, it can affect relationships, it can affect how we interpret information. And in the age of AI, it can affect how we interact with powerful tools. Somatic work, as I use the term in I Heal Me, does not separate body, mind, and spirit into three different boxes. It works with the whole human system at once: body, mind, spirit, one integrated system. The body is intelligent, the nervous system is intelligent. And when the system is given a simple embodied pattern of regulation, it can begin to respond. This is why mood tracking matters. The more we practice noticing our emotional state, tracking our patterns, and using simple regulation techniques, the more self aware we become. Over time, patterns become visible. You may begin to notice when stress rises. You may begin to see which situations activate you most often. You may begin to understand what helps you return to clarity. You may begin to recognize the difference between reaction and response. That is the point, not control, awareness, not suppression, regulation, not dependency, agency. The more consistently a person tracks, the more useful the data becomes. The more useful the data becomes, the more clearly the person can see their own patterns. And when a person can see their own patterns, they can begin to change how they respond. That is how resilience is built. In iHealMe, I also speak about maintaining your atmosphere. Your atmosphere is the emotional and energetic state you carry into your work, your communication, your relationships, and your decisions. Chaos invites chaos. Peace invites peace. This is not about fighting one state with another. It is about learning how to shift from reactivity back into coherence. And for technology professionals, this is especially relevant. IT teams, developers, engineers, project managers, designers, and digital workers operate under pressure. There are deadlines, complex systems, client needs, technical problems, communication demands, and constant change. If emotional self regulation can work in a high pressure technology environment, then it becomes easier to show how this model can apply across other systems: education, healthcare, leadership, workplace communication, AI use, family life. This is why the TechSaga cohort matters. TechSaga is not only helping test an app, TechSaga can help demonstrate whether a simple emotional self regulation protocol can support clarity, resilience, and healthier human technology interaction in a real technical workforce. For the TechSaga cohort, the invitation is simple: use the app. Track honestly. Use the somatic reset when activated. Notice what changes. Give feedback. Help us understand what works, what is clear, what is confusing, and what needs to improve. You are not being asked to perform perfectly. You are not being asked to become emotional experts. You are not being asked to share private personal details. You are being invited to participate in a practical early stage research model. The benefit to you is direct. Mood tracking brings you back into your own awareness. It gives you a way to see your emotional patterns instead of being ruled by them. It gives you more precision, more self understanding, more agency. The more you tap and track, the more data you have. The more data you have, the clearer your patterns become. And the clearer your patterns become, the more effectively you can regulate, communicate, decide, and recover. This is what it means to begin mastering the mechanics of your emotional operating system. You become less easy to hijack by stress, less easy to confuse with noise, less easy to pull into reaction. You begin to know where you are. You begin to pause. You begin to think again, not just react. Think, reflect, choose. That is a game changer for individuals, for teams, for technology, and eventually for the larger human AI future. The long term vision is that emotional self regulation becomes part of the human side of AI safety. AI reflects and amplifies human input. So the human state matters, the operator matters, the nervous system matters, the emotional operating system matters. This is the missing layer I call the human firewall. A firewall protects a system by helping filter what comes in and what goes out. The human firewall is the ability to pause, regulate, discern, and respond before acting on amplified information. It is the ability to ask, am I calm enough to make this decision? Am I reacting or am I responding? Am I interpreting clearly? Am I outsourcing my judgment? Am I allowing stress to control the next step? These are not soft questions. They are safety questions. They are leadership questions. They are technology questions. They are human questions. TechSaga helped bring the first version of iHealMe into form. Now TechSaga has the opportunity to help test the deeper question behind it. Can emotional self regulation become a practical safety layer for human AI interaction? I believe it can, and this cohort is one of the first steps toward finding out. So, this is the invitation. Use the app, track your moods, use the somatic reset, observe your patterns, give honest feedback. Help us build a better model for emotional self regulation in the age of AI. Thank you for being part of this early stage. Thank you for helping build the human side of the future. And welcome to iHealMe.